Welcome to Frances Quilts, the site dedicated to the wonderful art of quilting, with a few other fun things thrown in as well. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe. Hey guys, welcome back to Frances Quilts. It's been a while since I've done a video and I apologize for that, but frankly this past summer was just too busy to spend a whole lot of time in the studio. If you've been reading my blog, you know that we were overseas for 6 weeks of the summer and things are just now finally starting to slow down a little bit so that I can have some good quality time in the studio. But today I want to tell you about a project that I have just finished that I'm super excited about. It is a baby quilt for a grandniece. You can see it here. I will show you some close-ups in just a minute. But the exciting thing about this quilt is the machine quilting that I did. If you remember, I've tried all this past year to up my game when it came to my machine quilting, to try different patterns, to use different designs. I've done a couple of challenges from Angela Walters, including the ruler challenge, and I used some rulers on this one. But I just was so excited when I was able to sit down and quilt this quilt. I think it took 4.5 hours to quilt, and I'm just super thrilled with the results. I'm going to show you some up-close details in a minute, but I just wanted to give you a little overview, and let's go look at the quilt. Okay, gang, let's have a look at some of the quilting on this quilt. After I did the bears, they were the first thing that I started with. I looked at this background panel and I was going to do a lot of quilting on it, and I thought if I did, I was just going to lose the fun design in the pattern or in the fabric itself. So I ended up just doing a really big loop. It took a minute or two for me to get used to making them that big, but once I did, it went so easily, quickly, and well. Moving up to the next one, I kind of kept along these stripes that I had in here. So I've got a ribbon candy there. Sometimes not as good as others, but that's okay. Coming up to the next big one, this is actually a ruler design using a So Steady ruler for a border, and I really thought that was easy and fun to do. Coming up, I just did some little half moony things in there. It was a little bitty border and it didn't need much. Now I wanted to put some flowers in here because this is for a little girl. So let's come up to the next one. I took the next two borders and I just did some great big flower stipple. Again, I love how it looks, and I think it was the perfect piece to have in there. On this section, I did another border design. I started out with this continuous loop right here, and then added some things to it, did a little wavy line at the bottom. Up at the top, I couldn't decide what to do, so I echoed it one time, and then I went back in and started making loops, and I decided that every time that the piece jumped down like that, I was going to put a little figure 8 in there. So that's how I finished filling in that area. It gave it a little more density, and I kind of like that. This section up here I did with rulers, just a simple design using a dot-to-dot technique that Angela Walters talks about. On the last quilt I did like this, I did it freehand, and it was a little bit faster freehand, but I sure like it better when I do it with a ruler. Up to the next level, here's some wishbones. Now sometimes when I do my wishbones, I make them very close together and very long, but these I decided to actually make look like wishbones, so they're kind of spread out a little bit, and it was a great way to fill in that little border. The next one was a little bit wider, and so I started out doing just some echoed wavy lines. I got to the top and thought, well, what am I going to do next? I put the next 2.5 rows together, this peach one and green one here, and just did a paisley meander, and it was so fast and so fun and so easy. When I got, even let some of them roll into this next border up. When I got to there, I did a wavy line coming along here, just kind of touching those paisleys a little bit, filling in that area. I went across on the other side and did another wavy line, and then I filled it in with that wishbone design, except when they're kind of squished down. And then to finish it off, I did one final wavy up at the top. I echoed this wavy line that I had right here, and then just put some straight lines in there. When we go back down to the bottom, you see I did the same thing. In these two sections, I used a meander, just a paisley meander, and then I have a wavy line followed by some more of those wishbones, squished down, and then ended it off in the same way. So the top and the bottom echo each other. I hope you enjoyed that tour of this very special quilt. Again, I'm super pleased with how the quilting turned out. I use this opportunity once again to remind you about Move It, a free motion quilting boot camp. It is still in progress. There are a lot of people that have gone all the way through the 10 weeks. There are some that are in the middle of it, and there's a few that have just started. So jump in anytime you are interested. It is free. Each week you receive 1 or 2 videos from me and emails from me that just give you some basic information and show you some new patterns to try. And remember, this boot camp is about learning to move your hands in different directions. It's about trying different designs and getting rid of those 3 or 4 designs that you do all the time. And again, it works. I have proof. I hope you'll keep reading. Please be sure to subscribe to my blog and also to this YouTube channel. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see you next time. Keep quilting.
Remember, if you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe. You can also find my blog at francisquilts.com, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Francis Quilts, and on Pinterest at Francis Quilts 57. Hope to see you again soon.